The hospital was a world of soft beeps and quiet whispers. It smelled like clean sheets and the faint, sweet scent of rubbing alcohol. Sunlight tried its best to pour through the big windows, painting long, lazy stripes on the polished floors. In this world of hushed sounds and gentle movements lived a little girl named Amara. She was 8 years old, with eyes as bright and curious as two shiny pennies. Amara had a very special chair with wheels that hummed like a hummingbird when she rolled down the long hallways. She called it her hummingbird chair, and it took her everywhere she needed to go, which was a good thing because her own legs got tired very easily. Amara's lungs were not very strong. They were like tiny, delicate balloons that had trouble filling all the way up with air. Because of this, she had a little friend that went with her everywhere, a small, clear tube that rested gently under her nose. This tube brought her the extra air her lungs needed, whispering a soft, constant hiss that sounded like a tiny secret. Her parents were always nearby, their faces filled with a love so big it seemed to spill out of their eyes. They would read her stories about brave knights in faraway lands, their voices a warm blanket that wrapped around her and made her feel safe in the sometimes scary quiet of the hospital. Despite the tubes and the chair and the many tests, Amara's heart was as full and as strong as a lion's. She knew every nurse by name and had a smile ready for anyone who passed her in the hall. She would wave from her hummingbird chair, her small hand fluttering like a butterfly, and a little bit of her sunshine would land on everyone she saw. Doctors would stop their important walks just to hear her tell a joke, their serious faces cracking into wide grins. Amara believed that a smile was a gift you could give away for free, and she was very generous with her gifts, scattering them like flower petals wherever she went. On this particular day, a Thursday that felt slow and sleepy, Amara and her mother were waiting in a long, quiet room. It was a room where people waited for news, for tests, or for doctors to call their names. The chairs were lined up in neat rows, and the air was thick with waiting.
I'm gonna make this sun so bright it'll warm up the whole room.
Amara was coloring in a book, her crayons making a soft, waxy sound against the paper. She was drawing a picture of a big, yellow sun with a happy face, a sun so bright it looked like it could warm up the whole room all by itself.
That's beautiful, sweetheart.
Her mother sat beside her, gently stroking her hair and humming a soft tune. Across the waiting room, sitting in a wheelchair just like hers, was a man. He looked tired, and his shoulders drooped down as if they were carrying something very heavy. His face was pale, and he stared at the floor with sad eyes. Amara watched him for a moment, her crayon pausing in the middle of a sunbeam. She noticed his sadness. It was a quiet, gray cloud that seemed to hang right over his head.
Mama, why does that man look so sad?
That man is waiting for a new kidney, sweetie. His own kidneys are very sick, and they don't work right anymore. He needs a healthy one from someone else to help his body get strong again.
Amara's brow furrowed in thought. A kidney. She knew what that was. It was something important inside you, like a heart or a lung. The man needed a healthy one. The problem seemed so simple to her, and the solution even simpler. She looked at the sad man, then at her mother, and a bright idea popped into her head, shiny and full of hope. With a determined look on her face, Amara rolled her hummingbird chair across the shiny floor. The wheels hummed their quiet song as she made her way toward the man. She stopped right in front of him, her big, honest eyes looking right into his tired ones.
Excuse me, sir. My mama said you need a kidney. I have 2 of them. You can have one of mine. I don't mind sharing.
The man stared at her, his mouth slightly open in disbelief. He had been so lost in his own worries, in the heavy weight of his illness, that he had forgotten that pure, simple goodness still existed in the world. This little girl, with her own tubes and her own special chair, was offering him a part of herself without a second thought. She didn't understand the complicated surgery or the medical reasons why it wasn't possible. All she understood was that someone was hurting, and she had something that might help. Her offer was so innocent, so pure. It was like a tiny light turning on in the dark, quiet room. A hush fell over that corner of the waiting room. Amara's mother, who had followed her, had tears welling up in her eyes, a mixture of pride and overwhelming love for her daughter's boundless heart. The man's own eyes started to shine with unshed tears, but these were not tears of sadness. They were tears of wonder and gratitude.
Thank you. That is the kindest, most generous thing anyone has ever offered me. You have a very, very good heart, little one. A truly strong heart.
A nurse who was passing by had stopped to listen, her clipboard held forgotten at her side. A smile, slow and warm, spread across her face as she witnessed the exchange. She had seen so much sickness and pain in these halls, but this single moment of pure, selfless kindness felt like a powerful medicine all its own. She walked away with a lighter step, eager to share the story. Soon, the tale of the little girl who offered her kidney began to travel through the hospital, passed from nurse to nurse, from doctor to patient, in quiet, wondering tones. It was a story too good not to share. The story spread like a gentle wave of warmth. Other patients waiting in their rooms heard about Amara, and it brought smiles to their faces. The little girl in the hummingbird chair, the one with the sunshine smile, had shown them all something important. She reminded them that even when your body is weak, your spirit can be incredibly strong. Her simple act of generosity changed the feeling in the air. The hushed whispers in the hallways seemed less about worry and more about hope. People started looking at each other differently, with a little more kindness in their eyes, inspired by a child's simple wish to help. Amara didn't understand the big ripple she had created. She just went back to her coloring book, happy that she had made the sad man feel a little bit better. She finished her drawing of the sun and, with her mother's help, gave it to him as a gift. He held the colorful drawing in his hands as if it were a precious treasure. It was just a piece of paper with some crayon marks on it, but to him, it was a symbol of hope. It was a reminder that even in the middle of a long, hard wait, a moment of pure, unexpected kindness could make the world feel bright again. A few weeks later, good news finally arrived for the man. A perfect kidney had been found from a donor, and his surgery was a success. As he recovered, his body growing stronger each day, he held on to the memory of Amara's offer. The doctors and nurses had given him a new kidney, a new chance at life. But the little girl had given him something just as powerful. She had given him hope when he had almost none left. He knew he would never, ever forget her, or the incredible strength hidden inside her small, fragile body. Her gift was not one of flesh and blood, but of pure, unselfish love. The man asked a nurse to take him to see Amara. He found her in her room, surrounded by books and drawings, her hummingbird chair parked by her bed. He was no longer pale and slouched. He stood tall, his eyes bright and full of life.
Thank you again. Your kindness has been a light for me in a very dark time. You helped me get ready for my new kidney. You made my heart strong enough to hope for it.
I'm glad you're not sad anymore.
Amara just smiled her sunshine smile, happy to see that the gray cloud was gone from over his head for good. The story of Amara's heart became a quiet legend at the hospital. It was a reminder to everyone, the busy doctors, the tired nurses, the worried families, and the lonely patients, of the power that lies within a simple act of giving. It showed them that true strength isn't about how strong your muscles are or how well your body works. True strength, the most important kind, comes from the heart. It is the strength to care for another person, to offer what you have without asking for anything in return, and to share your light, no matter how small it may seem. Amara continued her journey in the hospital, facing her own challenges with a brave spirit and a full heart. She may have needed a wheelchair to move and tubes to breathe, but her spirit could soar. She taught everyone a valuable lesson that day, a lesson that echoed through the clean, quiet halls for a long, long time. The greatest gift you can ever give is a piece of your heart, And that is a gift that can heal in ways that medicine never can. It was the gift of Amara's heart, a heart as big and as bright as the sun she loved to draw.